Sunday polls in the Central African Republic were meant to restore democratic rule in the aftermath of bitter conflict. Mainly Muslim rebels seized power in the majority Christian nation in early 2013, provoking reprisals from Christian militia that triggered a sectarian violence. The postponement of the polls now allows for more successful organization, according to officials.
Donc c'est pour permettre une organisation plus.
We want to organize it successfully and make sure that these elections are transparent, credible and democratic. We noticed during the referendum that most election workers did not have the proper knowledge. So we witnessed a growing number of wrongly written reports which contributed to the cancellation of many votes. So we absolutely need to organize training and find the right people because the stakes of these elections are important compared to the referendum.
Central African authorities are under heavy international pressure to move ahead with the polls to replace the current transitional administration. Critics now hope elections will take place as agreed, as they have already been repeatedly delayed. Jean Keo, CCTV.
And to discuss the impact of the postponement of the elections, we have in studio CCTV's Jean Keo. She's been to the Central African Republic a number of times. So, Jean, elections postponed yet again for the fifth time. What does this mean for the country?
Well, Penina, I guess it just proves how delicate the situation is in the Central African Republic. Of course, this is a country that has been wrecked by violence, instability over the last 2 years or so. And many people were, of course, looking at these elections and look at this election as a way to bringing back stability in the country, as a path to recovery, to try and rebuild the country. So, of course, there's a lot of disappointment in the country given the outcome of last week's referendum on the constitution. But again, many will also tell you they feel that the elections themselves had been rushed, and that's the view of some experts. Now, so given the outcome of last week's referendum, we expect a lot of rather disappointment within the country. Of course, this is the fifth time that these elections have been postponed this year alone. So critics will also tell you that it further proves the outcome, or rather it casts more doubt on the credibility of the vote. Again, December 30th has been proposed by the UN body monitoring this election, but the Constitutional Court again must ratify the date, given that the Constitution, CAR Constitution, only allows elections to be held on a Sunday.
So 30th of this month tentatively is the date for the elections, but is the environment conducive to hold the polls?
Well, Penina, many will tell you that there's never an environment that is 100% conducive, and it's the same with the Central African Republic, given that it's not really known any kind of peace or perhaps stability since 2013. So, and we've still got thousands of people in tents. We've got hundreds of thousands who fled to the neighboring countries. So yes, critics, experts believe that maybe the environment is not conducive. Maybe the elections have been rushed. In fact, experts will tell you that the disarmament of the militias has not really taken place. Looking at the justice system, no one has really been held account in regards to the atrocities that have been committed over the last 2 years. There's the issue of inclusivity. But then there's good news that one of the ex-Seleka rebels, leader Nureddin Adam, has at least changed his mind in regarding to elections. A couple of weeks ago, he said he would not allow the elections to take part in the northern and eastern part of the country, where his forces still control the area. Of course, this has changed, but there appears to be a lot of pressure, particularly from France and the United Nations in the Central African Republic, for these elections to actually take place.
So how many candidates, Jane, are taking part in these elections?
Well, Penina, so far at least 30 candidates were cleared by the Constitutional Court to run in the elections, and they have. We've got a lot of independents in this arena. We've got a former prime minister. His name is Anicent Georges, and he's being viewed as the front runner in the race. In fact, former President Francois Bozize, who is in exile in Uganda, has thrown his weight behind the former prime minister. So has the Christian militia, the anti-Balaka forces, also are supporting the former prime minister, and we've also got a former general. So there's this mix of these people who are still gunning or running to at least bring democracy in the Central African Republic. They've been running a wide range of campaigns in the country. In fact, last week, I believe the former prime minister went to PK5, that's PK5, which is the sole surviving Muslim neighborhood, to at least try and sell his agenda. Now, Penina, if either of these people do fail to get a majority in December 30th, if that is the date that will be decided by the Constitutional Court, we expect a runoff in mid-January.
All right, Jean Kale, thanks very much for those insights.